as time flies by, you'll open up your eyes wide. You feel it's gonna go your way. Hey, hey, it's a brand new day. Hey, 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 it's a brand new day.
Welcome back to Marbella Now. My name is Nicole King, and from everyone here at Radio TV Marbella and our program, we hope you had a fabulous Christmas. We're now going to the new year, and the great thing in Spain is it doesn't finish there, because until the three kings have come on the 6th of January, the party goes on. Let's get started with tonight's program.
Hey, hey.
Last week we were talking to Zach Black about the festivities that will be happening on the 30th of December in the Church Square in San Pedro to raise money and awareness for a disease that's very rare, very unknown. It's called mastocytosis. Well, this week, Jose, who is the father of Pablo, who's a 2-year-old boy who has this problem, has come to join us to actually talk about why we want to raise funds, why we want to raise awareness, and why this event is actually taking place. Jose, thank you so much for taking time to be with us today.
Thank you for having me.
It must have been devastating for you that first day when suddenly Pablo, as I understand it, woke up with a blister on his leg, and then suddenly you started this journey that's taken you all around, well, not all around the world, but certainly around many hospitals, many different visits to find out actually what was wrong with Pablo. Can we start at the beginning? You wake up one day, Pablo's got a blister. What happened next?
Well, at that time we were living in London, as you know, and luckily we had an appointment with the GP that day, so we were about to leave the house. So we were dressing him, and then is when we suddenly realized that a blister appeared here without any accident, without any heat or nothing at all. So we took the way to the GP. When he saw him, he didn't know what it was, so he sent us to the first hospital, Chelsea, and also they didn't know what it was, so they decided to, because the specialist was about to come in the day after, the next morning, they decided to keep him there in the hospital all the night until the next morning. So obviously we're few hours with not knowing at all what was happening, what he had. There was already like 3 doctors, the GP plus another 2 who saw him, but none of them knew what it was, so a lot of questions started to come, obviously. And then well, we first had a kind of right diagnostic, but they didn't really know how to treat it. So we were starting to investigate. We asked for a second opinion in a different hospital. The diagnostic was pretty much the same, but again, they didn't know how to treat it. So then it took us a few weeks looking for, searching in internet, Google, everywhere, asking everybody. And then we came across with Toledo at that point.
Which is a city in Spain where you found a specialist doctor who actually specializes in this, because at first, as I understand it, Pablo was diagnosed with possibly urticaria pigmentosa.
Correct.
But what he has is mastocytosis, which is an even rarer form of the urticaria pigmentosa.
Yeah, exactly.
There being no treatment, as we know for this, obviously makes life very difficult. What is mastocytosis? What does it affect? How does it come? Is it hereditary? Do you know what causes this?
Well, it's actually a blood disease, and the main problem the doctor's facing is that it has lots of different ways to show itself. So in Pablo's, for example, it's quite obvious on the skin. He's full of rashes, which occasionally might become blisters. But there are another type of patients who they don't. You cannot see nothing on the skin. Actually, it's totally clean. But then the problem is inside, mainly the digestive apparatus, stomach, and other parts. They might have low blood pressure suddenly, like mainly with the heat. They are quite affected by the heat, actually.
So poor Pablo living here in Marbella with the heat here, the summers must be quite uncomfortable.
Yeah, especially July, August, we stay at home the whole day, basically. So we got like 2 months retirement at home, July and August, with the AC all day.
Hey, hey.
Yeah, I'm here in Marbella, but it says here I'm in La Canada.
If you haven't mastered the lingo, don't worry. Linear Director has a free GPS geolocator service that will come and find you.
Hey, hey.
How long have you been since this started? When did Pablo first start with symptoms?
That day he was 7 weeks old.
7 weeks old, and he's now 2. So this is
2 years
something
and a half,
you've
yeah.
lived with, he's lived with all his life. How does he handle it?
Well, he's starting to realize, especially the itching is the worst thing.
So not only does he have rashes and things, it actually itches
Yeah.
on the inside as well? You don't know?
Inside, we don't really know yet. He's not able yet, obviously, to express what he's suffering. But he's realizing now when the rashes, when he got stressed, if he start playing on the outside of running or something, when he become too excited, for example, then the mastocytosis reacts also. So you need to calm him down, and then at that
How
point,
hard for a 2-year-old?
oh, imagine. And he's full of energy also. He doesn't know how to stop. So it's quite.
So at least he's a healthy 2-year-old in that respect, that he's full of life. I know one of the things that obviously, as a parent, doesn't bother you at all, but knowing how people react, how we externally classify people. I know that one of your major worries is Pablo has visible markings on his skin. And although it's not contagious in any way, people obviously, if they don't know, they could get scared. And this is one of your major worries, that you would like our community to realise that this is a little boy who's part of our community, and for us to know about this, so as Pablo grows up, he doesn't have to go through the discomfort as well of feeling that he looks different.
We worry about that because we have actually lived that situation. Thanks God, or thankfully, it's not too common, but occasionally some people you can see on their face, or grabbing
Pulling their children away.
Children, yeah, and no, it's quite obvious. You might think it's chicken pox or something like that, but it's actually not. So, and also when the people approach to ask you, at the end of the day, you become an ambassador of the disease, obviously. You have to be ready to answer, but obviously also there are ways and ways of asking, and some people is quite unrespectful. For example, we're more than happy to explain it. At the end of the day,
It's what you want to do, you want people to understand. In Andalusia, as I understand it, there are only 34 cases, which makes it very difficult for any investments, any research, any investigation, because there's so few numbers. There is a mastocytosis and rare related disease association that is participating with you, that you are with them together for this event on the 30th. Do you get together with these other people? How do you feel knowing that you're faced with this disease that no one is really doing anything about?
The thing is, it brings us to the same point we had at the beginning. There are so many different grades of disease, and even though some people is affected, some people is having a normal life, or at least the evolution of the disease they having is quite fine, so they kind of not quite involved right now in the association. And we had the other way around, which is we had few cases, one in Sevilla, one girl in Malaga. They cannot drive, they don't know when they're gonna have a shock and suddenly fall on the floor. So they cannot move, they cannot drive to different cities or something like that. So one, we are not many people to help, and second, their own condition make even more difficult to help us. So yeah, somehow we are quite alone on this way. We had the help from Madrid, from the main for the president and all the executive board, let's say. But obviously, again, from Madrid, we got the help for the paperwork, for licenses, for insurances, or something like that, but not a physical help, as it doesn't really make sense to come all the way from Madrid. There will be for the 30th, for example, because hopefully it's going to be a big one. But this, the last Saturday, we had two events. We did 250 kilometers. We were in Atalaya College. There was a charity market in the morning, and then we had a table there showing, talking to the people about the disease. It finished at 4 p.m. and then we packed everything. We took the car and drive to Malaga, as we had another event similar. We were able to collect 500 euros in the whole day. So it doesn't make sense if you have to come from Madrid, pay the train or whatever. At the end of the day, you're going to spend more money. More money than. In the
but
way.
The good thing is that if as a local community that we get on this and we do our thing, which is doing lots of little events, 500 plus 500 plus 500.
And you create awareness at the end of the day, which is it's not about the amount of money, but the amount of people who see the name of the disease and talking to you, what is this? So slowly, you create that awareness about what it is.
Without a doubt, I relate this a little bit to the butterfly skin charity. In the same way, 6 years ago, I had no idea, I'd never heard of it. But as a community in Marbella, as our little boy who started that then, who's now a young man, but with Pablo, it's the same type of thing. It's up to our community to support each other, pass this information on, and above all, make sure that Pablo doesn't feel uncomfortable in his own town, that he feels comfortable at home. So the 30th, there's going to be music, dance, food. You are going to be coming with your wife Sylvia and Pablo to actually be in the square. That's at 4 o'clock, I understand.
Around 4 o'clock, yeah.
So it starts at midday at 12. There's going to be activities all the way through, and very international, because our international community is getting on board. But I like the fact that at 4 o'clock you can actually go and meet Pablo and Jose and his beautiful wife Sylvia. She should be on TV, really. She's really got a TV, got a beautiful face, as is Pablo, who's gorgeous. So obviously you want as many people as possible to come on the 30th from midday till 11 at night. But 4 o'clock is the key moment. There's going to be all kinds of prizes and raffles and
huge paella.
Huge paella,
a huge paella for 500 people.
And the nice thing is it's just after Christmas, just before New Year, and so obviously the best thing is that it's going to be a great Christmassy feel, and dress warm though.
And a lot of entertainment also for children, dancers.
And they've got face painting for children and entertainment for children, so it really is going to be a family affair.
Yeah, it's a Saturday, everybody's free, all Christmas holidays, so
perfect.
No excuse to for
no
not being there.
Excuses whatsoever. Jose, all I can say is that I'm really happy to meet you and your family, and that our community is getting on board. Obviously, count on us, but we are counting on you too. The 30th, which is Saturday, San Pedro Square, the church square, is going to be from midday till 11 at night, non-stop fun, entertainment, and for a wonderful cause, mastocytosis. Look it up. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having and thank you for creating this awareness, obviously.
Anything we can do is little, unfortunately.
No, it's big.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Thank you.
We'll be back tomorrow evening at 8 p.m. and the programme for tonight will be repeated tomorrow afternoon. And of course, you can check everything out online from MarbelleNowTV.com. Take care of yourselves, be nice to each other, and we'll see you soon. Bye for now.